Hello, group. Welcome to Action Rock Corner. I'm your host, Richard May. Today, I'm going to rank the songs on this classic record, Tommy Bolin, Teaser. It's like ranking children, your favorite, all your children. Hard to do, but we're going to do it. You and I are going to rank the 9 songs on Teaser as we prefer them. No right or wrong answers. We're going to rank the 9 as an exercise. Just to deepen our appreciation of Tommy Bolin's Teaser record. We lost Tommy Bolin 49 years ago. He was 25 years old when he died from a drug overdose. He overdosed before, and the roadies would take him to the hospital, and that became problematic for press coverage. So the roadies, he'll be okay, let him sleep it off. We'll get in trouble if we take him to the hospital. He dies. These are the days before Narcan. So, in December 4th, 1976, we lost Tommy when he was promoting his second solo record, Private Eyes. Listening to both Private Eyes and Teaser for this exercise, because I was considering ranking Private Eyes, but it was too mellow for a place called Action Rock Corner. It's really good. I have written before that this should be considered a lot, Y-A-C-H-T, lot, rock classic. I should have stuck with speech therapy. Rock classic. Absolutely great for a beautiful summer day. We're talking about Teaser instead. Teaser has some rock to it, and even the instrumentals rock out and get some balls to it. So, this Teaser we're going to rank. And God, he had side session people. 2 songs, David Sanborn on saxophone, David Foster before he became a specialist in commercial music, doing keyboards on the first 3 tracks of the record, Phil Collins did some percussion, that Phil Collins from Genesis and Solo and Disney, whatever else. And Ron Hammer, the fusion jazz guy. And of course, Tommy. Well, let's go through Tommy's brief career. But as you see behind me, and a little bit over here, but mostly here, when Kiffin Records did a box set in 1989, years after Tommy died, the ultimate. This gave a boost to the family, where the family formed their own record label and mailing house and whatnot. In the 90s, I bought a lot, as you see. So for a guy that was only out there for about 7 years, he recorded a lot himself, a lot. Live material, demos, whatever. So there's a lot of Tommy Bolin to buy. Even though you basically only got 7 years of material. His first major band, Zephyr, self-titled and going back to Colorado. A Janis Joplin type of band. The singer, Candy, dead ringer for Janis Joplin, who was dead a number of years by then. Then, well, Joe Walsh left the James Gang really before Tommy Bolin came in, but the people who replaced Joe Walsh, when they left, Joe Walsh went, hey, there's this kid. Check him out. From a band called Zephyr. So Tommy Bolin got 2 records in with the James Gang. Never mind what the name of this record is. It was a different day in the timeline of the sexual revolution. James Gang, Bang, and James Gang Miami. Pretty good records. Bit inconsistent, but pretty good. And well, before I get to that, a couple tracks on Billy Cobham's Spectrum record, influential fusion jazz record with Tommy Bolin playing a couple tracks, blending some rock into fusion. Of course, it does the same thing with Mind Transplant by Afanas Monson. And then, while he's recording and preparing to do Teaser, and got a record contract, the whole thing, hey, you want to replace Richie Blackmore in Deep Purple? Yes, he did. The record is a bit inconsistent. It doesn't start out that strong, but it finishes really strong. Really cool record. The Come Taste the Band by Deep Purple. The one record studio by with Tommy Bolin on guitar. We also have the rehearsal recordings. So, you know, days may come and go, as you might see if you're watching on regular size TV. And another rehearsal release, the address, wherever they are, I can't see. 1420 Beechwood Drive. The California Rehearsals, Part 2. Days May Come and Days May Go is Part 1. And like I said, they keep on bringing out Tommy Bolin stuff, even this far along after his death. What would Tommy Bolin have done if he survived his addictions? Would have done more jazz? Yeah. Would have done more hard rock? Yeah. Would have done more supergroups? Yeah. And if Private Eyes had done better business, and he didn't die during the tour, what kind of solo material would he have done? You know, this is just a bit of everything. You know, jazz and rock and Latin and reggae, and we'll get to Teaser in a minute. Of course, they released the leftovers from the 2 solo records, Rip and Roses This is number 1. When they give it the same cover. One for Private Eyes. One for Teaser. And of course, the documentary that talks about Tommy Bolin's time in Deep Purple. And oh boy, howdy. A different time. Oh, one part of that documentary is, holy crap, are they alive? Because they went to a country that didn't host rock concerts, and some banana republic, I forget which country, and barely one roadie didn't make it out alive. He was murdered, and the rest of the band had it's a story. So what Tom would wound up doing? Well, it's taking too long before I start ranking. But funk is part of what Tommy would have done. And of course, that's what Glenn Hughes has done. It's going to funk in solo material. And of course, Glenn became involved with Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the drummer. Done a number of records with Chad Smith. So Tommy could have done a lot of great stuff the past 5 decades after his death. But hopefully I did not take too long to begin. Number 9, Dreamer. I love Dreamer. I love all 9 of these songs. I'm going to pick Dreamer number 9 because it's the soft song. It's not a love song. It's not a ballad. It's a song about ambition. And Glenn Hughes comes in, Tommy's future bandmate, for the 3rd verse. Because Tommy wanted to sing a certain high note that he couldn't reach. And of course, Glenn Hughes can. And David Foster, the future commercial producer and session guy and whatever, is in on that song too. Absolutely beautiful song. But it's a soft song, so I'm going to name that number 9. Number 8, People, People, the reggae song. Back then, no one gave it any thought. Today, we would talk about cultural appropriation. No. Tommy's a Native American, actually. He's a Native American Indian. But no, he's not black from Jamaica. But it is a cool, tasty number. Tasty reggae with David Sanborn on sax and Juan Hammer. Cool number. Absolutely jaunty and cool. And talking about a song appropriate for 2025. If you're following current events in America, and especially America, I guess. People, People, number 8. Number 7, Savannah Woman, with Phil Collins on percussion. Another guy's drumming. Phil kind of, adds some percussion to it. Yeah, great drummers on this record. Jeff Porcaro from Toto, and Prairie Prince from The Tubes. Yeah, good drummers. And then throw in Phil Collins to add some spice. A guy that Led Zeppelin would go, hey, we're going to do a thing at Live Aid. You want to come in and help? Fill in for our dead drummer? Didn't work out that well, that set for Led Zeppelin, but there's how much respect Phil Collins has in the rock community as a drummer. Savannah Woman is just slinky. Rumba. Is that what that is, a rumba? It's a nice dancing number for you and your woman. Savannah Woman. Really cool. Number 7. Number 6. I want to get to the 2 instrumental numbers and Tommy's jazz fusion influence. Homeward Strut with David Foster on keyboards. It starts pretty heavy, and then it lightens up slightly when it goes into the jam, but it is a pretty heavy guitar intro by Tommy on Homeward Strut. This is a more rockin' record than Private Eyes would be a few years later, or a year later perhaps. Absolutely tasty instrumental, Homeward Strut. And then Marching Powder with David Sanborn on sax and one hammer. And it starts heavy there too before it jams. Those two, really great stuff. May rank higher for you guys more into jazz than rock and roll. Number 4, The Grind, the opening track with David Foster on keyboards. The lyrics, we've been there, haven't we? You know, broke, maybe you haven't, but homeless. But you know, it's just when you're young and homeless, it's not that. Yeah, just for a minute. I'm just looking for a job. Just looking for work. You know, that story of the grind of looking for a job. And you'll do anything. Because you're sleeping on park benches, the police are rousting you from the park bench. It was a thing back in 75, 76. It was just a bum. It wasn't a social worker. Well, it was, but later it became more of an issue to be homeless. Here is just kind of, gee whiz, kid, gee whiz, guys, I'm just here trying to make it. Now to my top 3 songs from Teaser. I can jumble these 3 up. Put them in any order. I'll probably forget the order in a few weeks. But number 3 is Lotus, which is the last track on Teaser. This is a generation before Radiohead does Creep. The contrast song of light, heavy. And Lotus has that contrast. You got a nice airy song, and then all of a sudden, whack, Tommy hits that electric guitar and rakes your butt up from the tranquil beginning. Lotus, my number 3. Beautiful song, absolutely wonderful song. Number 2, Wild Dogs. I'm being lame here. My 2 favorites are the most straight-ahead rock numbers on this. Maybe in the future, if you ask me this in 3 years, I may totally switch it and go, I want to hear the fusion jazz instrumentals. I want to hear the reggae. I want to hear the slinky rumba. Maybe I even want to hear the ballad about ambition, being a dreamer, and getting out of this town. But for today, I'm a rocker. Wild Dogs which was part of the T Purple tour, since he had to go and tour for T Purple to promote Come Taste the Band, he couldn't tour to promote Teaser. So he said to T Purple, give me 2 songs from my solo record to perform in the T Purple set. In between me trying to do, well, he didn't try, but he did the best he could. Roger Blackmore, Richie Blackmore songs. Let me have 2 of my solo songs to promote my solo record, Richie. And so they did Wild Dogs, which is on this set, last concert in Japan. Wild Dogs, wonderful song. Starts out acoustic, or at least down-tuned, and then it rocks out. Absolutely great song. And of course they made a video for it. Well, not video, it's pictures of Tommy and drawings of dogs and whatever. But it's nice to see the Tommy Bolin family is making certain people don't forget their son, brother. Really nice song. And my favorite, you guessed it, the title track, Teaser. You may not own Teaser? Go own Teaser, would you? It's a great record. It's a perfect record. The family would appreciate it. And of course, there's a ton more stuff to get. Lots of stuff. I don't even have a complete collection. I'm not even close. Maybe I'm close. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's about half a dozen stuff. Half a dozen releases I don't have, at least. But Teaser was covered by Motley Crue for this charity record, and, don't do drugs, kids. I don't think it worked out that well for Nikki Sixx. If you read their book. But they do Teaser on this tribute record here to various musicians we lost to drugs over the years. And Motley Crue said we want to do our tribute song to Tommy Bolin, not Hendrix or Keith Moon from The Who. We want to do Teaser in tribute to Tommy Bolin. If you can't read the title of the album, it's Stairway to Heaven, Highway to Hell. And a lot of people on this. Skid Row, Scorpions, Ozzy Osbourne, mentioned the Crew, Corky Park, doing their version of My Generation. Heck of a thing. Cinderella. I think Cinderella did a Janis Joplin tribute. They mentioned Janis Joplin twice in this video. Nice record too. And that is how I rank the 9 songs on Tommy Bolin's Teaser. Hope I didn't take too long to get to my ranking of 9. I should fix it up later. Make a mental note. Start the ranking, then do the digressions. If you like this video, give it a like. Let's spread the gospel of Tommy Bolin out there. Wasn't even old enough to rent a car when he died. Jeez. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the notification bell. Leave a comment. Leave your memories of Tommy Bolin and the various projects he was in. You ever heard much Tommy Bolin? It's all on YouTube. All of it. Pretty much. At least the main stuff released when he was alive is on YouTube. Come back. What do you think? And for the latest in action rock, garage rock, and classic and legacy bands like Tommy Bolin and T Purple. Supposed to be a new T Purple coming out soon. New Clan Hughes, speaking of bandmates of Tommy, new Clan Hughes is coming out soon. Just had a single by Clan come out, well, a week ago. 2 days ago when I'm taping, 10 days ago or 9, whatever it is. Good stuff coming out still from the T Purple family of musicians. You know, what is covered up here is the top row is my T Purple of this bookshelf. T Purple on the top, Gillian, White Snake, and John Lord, and the whole gang. Rainbow. You play one of those guys, you're employed in music for life, basically. And that's a good thing, right? It's a good thing to have in your resume that you played with someone from T Purple, or even once or twice removed from T Purple. It's a sign of quality. Thank you for watching. Remember, fresh music is as important as fresh food. You don't play Tommy Bolin on the radio. That's just wrong. But it's what it is. Go listen to some Tommy Bolin. You'll enjoy it. And we'll see you again soon. Have fun with your music. We'll see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.